Multi-factor authentication was switched on. The policy was written. The box was checked, and the attacker still signed in. No prompt, no push notification, nothing. That happened in June at real banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies that believed they'd solved the password problem years ago. Here's how it happened, and the 5 things every institution should check this quarter. Between June 12th and June 26th, an automated attacker made more than 81 million login attempts against Microsoft 365 accounts. The security firm Huntress tracked it over that 2-week window. The campaign compromised 78 accounts across 64 organizations. Password spraying itself is old. Instead of hammering one account with thousands of passwords, which trips locked out fast, the attacker takes a handful of common passwords and tries each one against a huge list of accounts. Spread thin, the attempts stay under the lockout threshold while still landing on whoever reused a weak password. Here's the part that should stop you. Some of those organizations that got hit had multi-factor authentication enforced through conditional access. That is not supposed to happen. If the policy is doing its job, a sign-in with just a password gets challenged. These did not. The reason it did not fire comes down to how the sign-in was made. There is a password-based sign-in flow called Resource Owner Password Credentials, or ROPC, which Microsoft recommends against using. In a normal, modern sign-in, you get redirected to a Microsoft page. You enter a password, and then you get prompted for a second factor before a token is issued. That interactive step is exactly where conditional access inserts the multi-factor challenge. This flow skips all of it. The client posts the user name and password straight into the Microsoft Entra ID token endpoint and asks for a token in one step. There is no interactive sign-in page, and there is no natural place for a multi-factor prompt to appear. In this campaign, the spray came in authenticated as a first-party Microsoft client, the Azure command line tool using that flow. Now, this does not mean multi-factor authentication is broken, and it does not mean conditional access cannot stop it. It means the policy has to actually cover this path. The victims that got hit had gaps. Some enforced multi-factor for specific apps instead of all cloud apps. Some applied it only to certain groups. Some required it only from untrusted locations. And some policies were still sitting in report-only mode, which logs what a policy would do without ever enforcing it. Any one of those gaps leaves a password-only sign-in unchallenged. The account holder never sees a thing. And the traffic here came from a single infrastructure provider, one IPv6 range. The exact autonomous system and IPv6 details are in the description. So here is what to check. 5 things. 1. Confirm your conditional access policy covers all client app types, not just browser and modern apps. That is the scope that reaches the path this campaign used. 2. Block legacy authentication explicitly with its own policy. Do not assume nothing uses it. 3. Move any report-only policy to enforced. The policy stuck in report-only is documentation, not protection. 4. Require multi-factor for all users on all cloud apps, with documented break glass accounts as the only exception. 5. Hunt your Entra ID sign-in logs. For a successful sign-in that already came through during that June window, a compromise that already happened will not announce itself. A conditional access policy that requires multi-factor for all users, all cloud apps, and all client app types with legacy authentication block denies this sign-in. That is the fix. Now, most small IT teams at a bank or a credit union do not have the time to audit every policy for client app coverage and report only drift, and then keep watching as the configuration changes. That is the work ABT does. We are a Tier 1 Microsoft solution provider, and we manage the Microsoft 365 Entra ID tenant for more than 750 financial institutions. Through Guardian MXDR, we configure conditional access to cover all client app types, block legacy authentication, and hunt the sign-in logs for everything that already slipped through. If you want the full 5-check breakdown, including the exact policy shape that closes this gap, the companion article on myabt.com walks you through all of it. Link is in the description below. And if you would like ABT to review whether your conditional access policy would have stopped the June spray, we will look at your Microsoft 365 Entra ID configuration, confirm it covers all client app types, and hunt for any sign-ins that already came through. Reach out through the link in the description below. Subscribe for more Microsoft security walkthroughs for financial institutions. I'm Justin Kirsch. See you in the next one.